This isn't worth it anymore. I'm not getting paid enough doing the work of 3 or more people, and I'm working longer now than when I had a 9 to 5. Congratulations, your business is now a golden handcuff that has you trapped, unhappy, and wanting to quit. But don't despair, because in this video, I'm going to share with you how my wife and I are uncuffing ourselves from this cute little garage shop that blew up into a high six-figure earner. 4 years ago, we launched Merch Studio in our 2-car garage. Less than a year in, and I wanted to quit. I was overworked, stressed, and riddled with anxiety. Time for family, friends, hobbies, all gone. This wasn't the business owner life that I envisioned. My dream was financial and time freedom. The reality?
I had no idea what I was doing.
Commercial printing, social media marketing, ad buying, all completely foreign territory. I was in way over my head. All I knew was that I wanted out of my 9 to 5. And the book Millionaire Fastlane told me that this was the path. My son, fresh out of college, was pulling multiple six figures online monthly. Internet money, I realized, was real.
So there I was, mortgage, car payments, other financial responsibilities barely being covered by my teaching salary, leaping into the unknown.
I severely underestimated the work, the learning curve, the sacrifice required. I'm not the youngest, the prettiest, or the smartest, so I had to work harder on social media.
And of course, we picked the business model with arguably the most high maintenance equipment of them all, DTF. And Merch Studio became a series of failures.
A constant fight against customer complaints, technical glitches, and those infuriating $1,200 printhead replacements. Many of those that first year. And I remember sitting in the garage shop past midnight one night, and yes, this is the same garage, staring at a ruined printhead, trying to figure out where the money for a new one would come from. That's when I decided I was done. Shopify data shows that nearly half of all businesses started in 2018 failed by 2023. This isn't some random blog statistic. It's from the Bureau of Industry and Security. Nearly half failed in 5 years. Let that sink in. The core issue with Merch Studio was entirely dependent on me. I was convinced that if I wasn't working in the business, that it would collapse. Every morning, my wife and I woke up before the neighborhood, printing or troubleshooting, then worked past midnight to catch up on the day spent fixing the printer. Stress-induced arguments became the norm about money, the business, the lack of time for us, for family. Every single time, I was on the verge of quitting. In those moments, sitting in my home office at 5 in the morning, listening to Incubus's Drive on repeat, the lyrics became a strange kind of mantra. So if I decide to waver my chance to be one of the hive, will I choose water over wine and hold my own at Drive? And my resolve would harden. So we kept going. Merch Studio became the golden handcuff. We worked all day, every day. But our bank account finally had some cushion. We could buy groceries, eat out without checking the balances. Life became comfortable. We ignored the lack of time for our kids, the friends who visited and left without us really connecting. It felt like a necessary sacrifice to build our future, and to an extent, it was and still is. In the beginning, you build capital to hire. But then hiring means training, managing, monitoring. It's a new layer of work. We accepted it as the life we were meant to live. Then, everything changed. My dad, who was my hero, he passed away. Not taking time to enjoy life with us, his family, his friends, his passions. I realized that I didn't want that for myself. So the objective became clear. Make the business run with minimal intervention from me. Fortunately, I discovered Michael Gerber's E-Myth Revisited. This book was a game changer. It allowed me to start building systems that have already freed up my time and, in a year or two, will make the business run without me. Here's the core insight from E-Myth Revisited and how we're applying it. Most of us start a business because we're good at something. Printing, baking, social media management. We think, if I can do this for someone else, I can do this for myself. What we don't realize is that when you open a business, you inherit 3 distinct jobs. Number 1, the technician. This is the person who does the actual work. The baker, the printer operator, the social media manager. They produce the product or provide the service. This is usually how most people start. Number 2, the manager. This person ensures smooth operation. They schedule, build systems, and ensure consistency in the business. And number 3, the entrepreneur. This is the visionary. They see the big picture, the future, the strategic growth. And in the beginning, you're all 3. But I was lucky at Merch Studio because my wife fully supported my dream. I was the printer operator for about 2 months, hated it, and passed that role to her. And by the way, she still finds it therapeutic. But I was still troubleshooting and managing color, social media, customer support. I quickly identified our primary goals: increase customer base and improve print quality. These were the 20% that would drive 80% of our growth. To focus on taming the printers and mastering social media marketing, I had to remove myself from the pre-order to fulfillment cycle. I put on the manager hat, hired and trained the team, created processes for artwork checks, distribution, printing, quality control, internal communication. I made sure that I wasn't the bottleneck. I hired before we can truly afford them, knowing that focusing on marketing would generate the revenue to pay them. Eventually, Anne and I became competent enough at troubleshooting so that we were able to train the print staff to handle the common issues. This freed me up to build our social media and ad strategy. 4 years later, we're on track for our first $1 million revenue year. I'm not sharing numbers to impress. I want to show you that with the right strategy and grit, this is achievable. But there's always that internal conflict. Now, the entrepreneur in me is thrilled with our growth. Excited about our new DTF and UV DTF technology that will be added to the shop. The manager is a bit anxious, knowing new tech will disrupt our existing systems. My wife, the ultimate print manager / technician, is pumped for the challenge, but I know that she's stressed too. The point, your entrepreneur, manager, and technician won't always be happy simultaneously because they have different objectives. The entrepreneur wants positive change, the manager wants stability, and the technician, well, they just want to do their job. And this is why systems are critical. Without them, your entrepreneur is just a chaos agent, your manager is perpetually frustrated, and your technician, well, they're just lost. Merch Studio is still in its infancy stages, but we've implemented a system to help us build systems. It's meta, I know, but it works. The main idea is to standardize procedures so that new changes integrate smoothly. I can't show you our entire process in a 15-minute video, but think about this. If you decided to franchise your business tomorrow, would your franchisees know exactly what to do every step of the way? Looking at it this way forces you to document every process, every task, every decision. Why? When you onboard a new employee, open a second branch, or add a labor-intensive product, your team has a playbook that they can execute, whether you're there or not. For our DTF shop, which handles about 30 to 40 orders per day, or about 500 to 700 feet, a customer service manager, that's Matt, overseeing the CS team, a head of production, and in charge of print, fulfillment, and consumables, and a social media director, me, ensuring that our social media manager, YouTube team, and ad buyer drive eyeballs to our website. And each team has documented procedures. Customer service has scripts, AI chatbots, and protocols for returns, image issues, address changes. The print team has daily start/end procedures, quality control, and troubleshooting guides. Even packing and shipping are systematized, down to the tape that we use and alternative boxing procedures. You get the picture. And yes, currently our leadership roles are multidisciplinary and our processes are not perfect. But as we grow and split responsibilities, the transition will be smooth because our processes are standardized. And this extends to our software stack. We use Shopify because we can automate emails, order fulfillment, and tracking there. We have chatbots that we constantly train, both for our customers and for our customer service team. We use manual and automated gang sheet builders to minimize customer friction. And if it can be automated and we know about it, it will be automated. And you're probably thinking, hiring and tech cost money. And yes, they do. But you also have to remember that we've been building this since 2021. So don't rush it. Unless you have OPM, that's other people's money, or have an established business to fund the rapid growth, my suggestion is to improve slowly, one step at a time. The crucial steps.
Number 1, identify your hats. What primary role do you play in the business?
Are you mainly the technician, the manager, or the entrepreneur? Which role would you prefer to spend most of your time in? And which one would you delegate?
Number 2, create your SOPs or your standard operating procedures.
Don't try to document everything in one day. Start by creating step-by-step guides for your low-level repetitive tasks. Just keep on doing this, and before you know it, you'll have your basic playbook.
Number 3, think franchise.
If you had an emergency tomorrow and needed someone to run the business for 2 weeks, what would they need to know? For a printing business, this would be how to access orders, evaluate artwork, assign prints, quality control, internal and external communication, handling issues, packing, and shipping. If you're a service-based business, what are the expected response time? How does your team handle complaints? Where do they pull answers to questions about your products and services?
And number 4, embrace systems.
As a small business owner, we often believe that business runs best when we micromanage. And that could be true without systems. But we didn't go into this to create jobs for ourselves. So look at your marketing, your sales, your operations, your finance, and look at them from a systems lens. And slowly but surely, work on standardizing or automating them so that they don't need you to be in the mix. So there it is, how we grew from a clueless little garage shop to a somewhat automated business that generated over $81,000 in revenue in May of 2025. All by applying the principles of the E-Myth Revisited. We're not perfect, and we're still constantly tweaking, but we're getting there. But enough about Merch Studio. How are you doing in your business? Are you stressing out? Are you burning out? Are you just cruising? How might E-Myth Revisited change your approach? Write your thoughts in the comment section below. Right, Ma?
Yeah.